I just thought this was interesting. I don't have an answer ready, but this will be the last one we do. Hey, look at that. 2 hours, 15 minutes. Daryl Green says, can you tell us a couple of relatively minor things that nevertheless irritate you? That's a great question. I am utterly convinced that I'm capable of homicide, being stuck on freeways behind people who are driving in the passing lane at the same speed as cars that were in the right lane. It makes me insane. It makes me crazy. I don't mind people driving slow if they go slow as they want to in the right-hand lane. I've often said I think the country just ought to make an investment and hire 3 million Germans to come over here and teach us how to drive, because they don't put up with that nonsense. People driving slowly in the fast lane, as if it's like, hey, here's 2 lanes, pick one. No, it's not how it works. If you're being passed on the right, you should get a ticket. And I've always found that almost unbearable. It goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of the show when you're on the Florida Turnpike and you're doing 55 miles an hour or something, and you got 2 people and they're both doing 53 and nobody. And it's like, move out of the way, move. Slow traffic, keep right. Damn it, God Almighty. I just hate it. Let's see what else. I have found, and I found I'm getting more brittle about this as I get older. I'm a real stickler, like almost a fanatic for like following the rules. It's not really the same thing as obeying the law, but following the rules. For instance, I speed. I don't anymore, but that's just because I've been civilized. But I used to speed all the time, and if I got caught, then I was breaking the law. Pay the fine. That's that. But I am very annoyed by people who try to cut in front of you in a line of any kind of cheating, really. Cheating really drives me nuts. Watching people cheat doesn't even have to be affecting me. Really, really, really bothers me more than it should. It really gets under my skin bad, and that's probably related to my strong sense of justice, which is probably a result of having had a lot of, just hardship and stuff in my earlier years. And any kind of injustice really bothers me. And I can give you a good example of this, because you said little things. Natasha and I both discovered, these like Postmates and Uber Eats and stuff where you get restaurant food delivered to the house. She's an artist and she's always working on photography, and I'm busy wasting my time at home. And so we just love it. We just get out the phone. I want one of these. Dink. It shows up. But when I was very, very beginning of it, I ordered something from Uber Eats, and a lot of times I set my phone on Do Not Disturb after a certain hour, and I kept thinking, this is really taking a long time, and I looked down, and I saw that that the person had been here and left, and she didn't ring the doorbell. She just sat in her car for 10 minutes and then left, which I went on to find out is the Uber Eats minimum. And they were able to check it on her app. They said, well, sir, she did wait outside for 11 minutes and sent you a text. It's like, I don't live in, this isn't Compton. It's like, why can't you come to the door like every other Uber driver and Uber Eats driver and Postmates driver ever? And they said, well, we're sorry. So you basically forfeited the meal and we're not going to refund your money. And I just got so bloody angry about this. It's like, I was thinking, well, and I'm texting to these people, and I'm saying, Well, where's the food? What happened to the food? It didn't get delivered, so what happened to it? Well, we don't know that, sir. It doesn't go back to the restaurant. I said, no, I guess not. That's convenient. And it got to bother me so much that I was just walking this thing up to higher levels of people. And I should say in my own defense that I almost never do that, but I will often, if I get good service, good bank service or somebody, I'll just say, can I talk to your supervisor, and just say, hey, you need to give that person a raise and a promotion. They're really terrific. I do that all the time. But I was so upset about this, and I was typing, and I don't remember what the number was, but it was something like $3,000 or something we'd spent on it in the course of a year or something. And I said, are you telling me that you're going to lose $3,000 worth of business in the next few months because you're not going to refund $17? Because I will not ever use this service again, and I have a following, and I'll make sure that nobody else will ever listen. I was so outraged by it. I just thought it was unjust. I thought it wasn't fair, and it made me like a bulldog. And I just went to bed furious. And the next day, and I'm furious, and it's like, and suddenly this is part of having a person like Natasha in my life. Not like Natasha. I just found that the next day or 2 days later, she didn't say anything to me about it. I just found, you know what, I don't have to be so angry anymore. I don't have to be angry about everything anymore. This is silly. It's a silly thing to be angry over. Don't waste your time. You got bigger things to be angry about. And I just kind of shrugged it off, and that's been kind of the pattern, which is certainly going to make me live longer. I might have mentioned this once or twice, but before I got married, I was a bachelor till I was 57. That's a long time. That's a feral guy. But I remember during that entire time seeing these reports saying that married men lived 10 years longer or 12 years longer than single men. And I said to myself, that can't be possible. I just don't believe that's true. I don't believe it. Because, I see a lot of bad marriages. My parents got divorced, and I just said, no, it can't be true. And then when I got married, I realized, this has added 15 years to my life, 20, easily, just in terms of the joints where the plumbing goes into the walls in the body. It's like I would have been busting gaskets, and I probably already did a share of it. I would have just this, and now it's just gone. It's just gone. And Natasha was away for 5 days. Just went to Montana, visit a friend she'd met down in Florida up there, and she'd been actually gone for 3-4 hours of the first night, and I just thought, this kind of sucks. This is like, and then I realized, this is how you spent your entire life, man. This is your entire life, like this, and I realized I got nobody to talk to, and I ended up. This was right, and she left. Was it the day before? I think she left Thursday before the Saturday of Apollo 11. So I had one day where I was busy, and then I said, all right, I'm done with Apollo 11, and it's been nothing but round-the-clock work for me on what we saw. So I'm just going to spend the weekend, and I'm going to just sleep. I need some sleep, and I'm going to play video games, just going to relax. And I found myself, the first night she was gone, I stayed up till 3 in the morning. The second night she was gone, I stayed up till 5 in the morning. And I was doing nothing but looking at like YouTube videos, and I'm reading, and I'm falling asleep, and it's like, Bill, go to bed, man. And it's like, no, I want to watch this. It was just pathetic. I didn't go out for any food or anything. I ordered out, and then I ate everything in the house because I didn't feel like going to the grocery store, so I just worked my way down. A couple things of ice cream that were in there, not anymore. A couple of the Snickers ice cream bars, which are unbelievably, shockingly delicious, I have to tell you. Really, don't ever go near them, though. They're just filled with nicotine. They're fantastic. ate 5 of those in an hour, something like that. And just completely wasted my time. Slept all day. Miserable. Miserable, miserable. So, I'm very glad she's back. I picked her up a couple days ago. I had made a commitment to go down and have dinner with Buzz Aldrin, but he was getting an award at the Nixon Library. And I remember just so clearly thinking, I don't want to go to Buzz Aldrin. I want to pick up my wife at the airport. And I've had enough astronauts for a while. And that's really what I wanted to do. So I just canceled with regrets and thanks, and that's that. So George says he still have one of those in the freezer. George, I don't believe you, because if you've ever had one, there's no way you have one in the freezer, because those damn things are just inject them directly into my arm.